Another episode of What's Your Grails. I'm your host, Tony Sanders, and tonight I got with me a very special guest, the Doom143.
How's it? Aloha, welcome.
Man, and like I'm so excited to get you on here, man. Just,
Thanks. It was fun
like
talking shit before this too.
yes, we were yes. That's what took us so long. We were getting the backstage, the green room talk. Yeah.
Yeah, the secret talk. The secret talk.
And so so man, it's good to get you on here, man. We were just talking earlier about how you did the do your 50 like best books in your collection, and like you did that tag or whatever, and everybody did it, and like I was one of them that did it, and
Thank you. Thank you.
like it like the fun we had doing that, man. It was just like a great time.
Yeah, so like I mentioned before, so basically what happened is when I first started YouTube, maybe about 56, not even, actually just starting YouTube, just starting, like 10 subs in. Um, there was a tag and that went around, and that's what I miss about the community was like these tags, and then you would actually tag people, you know what I mean? So there was a tag going around, show me your top 50 books in your collection, and that's what people wanted to see. None of this like, oh, this is my nothing against personal grails, but it was like, yo, screw all of that, what is your top 50 books? And then I think, some of it was personal grails too, but like just seeing these mega keys just bam bam bam, and then there would be people with like grails that you didn't even like damn, I didn't know this collector even went like this, you know what I mean? Because there's a lot of stuff that people have that you don't know. And then I just wanted to be like tagged so bad, like I wanted to be tagged so bad, but I was like a 10 subscriber, nobody's gonna tag the Doom143. And then so when I did a contest, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do the top 50 books because I really enjoyed seeing people's stuff, and it took people, it's kind of meaningful. People took the time because, like yourself, right, in the back of your wall,
No,
you got to take all those books down, you got to show them, and then you got to put your books back, and it's hard. Like, you think you know what your top 50 is until somebody tells you to
oh
show you
yeah,
your top
yeah.
50. Yeah.
Oh, speaking of moving books, I got a quick story. Before the show even started, like my wife, she like we had to have our phone updated because we hadn't been like we don't use our landline. We don't use it. We
Yeah.
just we have one
What is that?
like
What's the landline?
exactly, we have cell phones. So it's like we have one, and like my phone like it rings but it doesn't have a ringer, because like it was just like out of date, I guess. And
Hmm.
so you could see it on the TV, but you couldn't hear it through the house. So it didn't bother me, so I didn't care. So I had a cell phone. But my wife, she wanted to get it fixed because she wanted the number and like the house number to stay or whatever, because we would lose the number. So we were like, okay. So this guy comes out, and oh man, the technician. Oh, you talk about because you were just talking about moving stuff. So I had the technician comes out, and like my computer's right here, like the cable's back behind my computer.
Mm,
My my long boxes are over here, and like where he had to be was over behind underneath the TV over there. So I
mm.
moved like all my books in front, right? And I'm like, okay, the mantle should be fine. Like he shouldn't be anywhere like close to that. He almost knocked over my Avengers #4, and I almost
Mm.
killed him. My wife was like, calm down. I was just like,
No, so prior to, this is my son's room right now, but prior to moving to this house here, we actually, I don't know if you watched one of my older videos, but it was basically my comic room tour. And um, there was these guys coming into our previous house, and they needed to check the wall in our bedroom, right? In the boom boom room. They needed to check the crack in the boom boom room.
yeah.
There's some vibrations going on, so there's a crack down the wall. And so these guys would have to pass my comic shelf in my hallway. And so there's like 7 people that's like part of this apartment. It's like one of those like gated apartments, whatever, right? So they come in,
Yeah.
there's like 7 of them, and they're like looking at this thing, and I'm like, yo, don't even touch. Like, there's an AF-15 on the shelf, there's a Hulk 181 on the shelf, there's like Avengers #1 on the shelf, and I'm like, there's all this stuff on my shelf. I'm like, yo, do not. You do that, like, don't touch the stuff. Like, you go walk and go look at that crack, and then you guys can come back and all that
Yeah,
stuff. But
yeah,
yeah, it was freaking crazy.
yeah. So today was like, I was gonna probably go and be like, no, Your Honor, it's self defense. He was in my house. he he was touching my stuff.
Yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure. Like, don't touch
But
my shit. Yeah,
like, but didn't you call him in there? I'd be like, yeah, to fix stuff, not break stuff.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, just don't even look at it. Exactly.
Yeah. So I usually ask my guests what is their holy grail. So do you have a holy grail? Like,
No, there's books that I really, really want. I don't. So this is where I was actually texting you earlier on the
yeah,
Instagram,
yeah, yeah.
and then I was all like, I don't know if this guy wants me on my show because I take certain words very seriously. So stuff like hard to find, even words like variants. Like I don't like it when people don't use the words like store variants or what do you call it? Like exclusive variants, stuff like that. Ghost books, when people say, "Oh, this book's a ghost." So when you said that you want to talk about grails, I was all like, I don't just call any book a grail. Like it better be a grail to the whole comic community. But so what happened is I decided to check out some of the videos. What's my grail? And I was like, oh, okay, I see what this guy's talking about. He's like more of your personal stuff, not so much like the craziest grail. Because I do have an AF-15. I have it in the bank. I don't touch it. There's a 181 that I have, and again, it's in the bank, and it's like safe deposit.
Yeah,
But
yeah, that's cool.
but as far as like a grail that I want what is the weirdest thing is I have no connection to Batman at all. Like I like Batman. I think
Hmm.
he's really cool. He's probably one of the most awesome characters out there, but I don't have like this connection with him. But I've always wanted a Batman #1. And so I remember there was a time I was trying to reach out to people and there was a guy in Florida selling, check this out, like a 1.0 for $20,000 or some shit like that.
Dang.
And I was all like, so I
You
had
was all in. You was all in for it, huh?
no, so I had a buddy that's all like, hey, I know this guy. I think I didn't even know if that was a good going price or not. It was like 1.0, $20,000.
Hmm.
So I was all like, man, should I dump a lot of my books just to get my grail? Because I'm not opposed to like only like if you could only own 10 books, but they're all badass. Would you rather have that or would you rather have a massive amount of collection? And we've talked about this before with my friends, and I'm all like, if I could only have 5 or 6 books, but each one is just like, holy shit, I think I would rather have that. So I was thinking, like, man, what if I sell all my stuff and then tell this guy to hold it, and I'll just own the Batman #1? But I was like, man, what does a 1.0 look like? Is it rusted out? Is it
Like,
molded? Is it ripped?
like, yeah, like, is there any story to it? It's like,
Yeah,
is it like just the cover and like a page?
yeah. But I'm all like, man, but I let it pass. I figure, that book will pop up. It's never popped up on me again. It's never popped up on me again. Yeah, but that would be like my holiest of holiest grail. I think would be a Batman #1. Not even a Tech 27. Literally a Batman #1. I think I would rather have that.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's cool, man.
Yeah, I don't know why. It's just something that I guess it's been on my wish list. Not necessarily a grail, just something that's kind of on my wish list. And yeah, I don't know. And that's just kind of how I am right now. There's a lot
That's
of great books out there, man.
oh
There's a
yeah,
lot of great books out there.
and
Yeah.
like that's the problem for me is like doing this show. Like I see a lot of people's different grails, and it's like I enjoy it, and then it's like I want to get some of those books, and it's like yo, I want to get that book, and it's like. And for you to, like a Batman one, that is cool, man. And then like for you to almost get like, like you knew somebody that had one to get one or whatever, and it's like, so now it's like you're kind of on the hunt for it, or you're always looking out for it, basically.
Yeah, well, I'm in a spot. I think right now with my collection, I'm in a spot where I'm all like, if it comes up, it comes up. I'm not like when I really wanted a 181 or AF-15, and I think just my collecting style has dramatically changed from when I first started up with YouTube. I think I got back in 2015. So from 2015 to now, I think it's kind of dramatically changed. If you love comic collecting, don't ever sell your book as a vendor. Like, you look at comics so differently. Like, that was my biggest mistake was, like, I don't know if you have a bucket list for comic collecting. I had a bucket list, and one of my bucket lists was, I want to be a vendor at a huge comic con. Unfortunately, in Hawaii, we only have one big comic con, and it's called it's called Amazing Con. So, like, that was my goal. I was like, I want to be a vendor at Amazing Con, and just to see what it feels like. What does it feel like to be on the other side? What does
Yeah.
it feel like to put your books up? Like, I had to, like, YouTube how to make a wall, so, like, all of this stuff, trying to think of all of that. And lo and behold, I started. I did the Amazing Con, and then you start seeing the money come in, and you're like, damn, this thing is kind of lucrative, huh? Like, I'm all like, damn, you find books on the stealth, like, man, this is kind of lucrative. And then that's when I'm like, oh no, like, comics don't feel the same anymore. And
Oh,
then,
man.
yeah, it's just like, I still have my personal stuff, stuff like I don't want to touch. I have a 9-year-old, so there's things I want to pass on to him, and then he can do whatever.
Yeah.
uh, but, like, most of the stuff, I'm just like, yeah.
Yeah.
People
See,
will like, I found this book. Let me see. Just couple. So on vacation, I found two books.
all right.
I found this right here. First full appearance of Kamala Khan. It's hard to find variant right here.
I've
I found this for cover at
I've
some.
never seen that. Like, never seen that at all.
You
But
never
that
seen
looks
it?
cool. No, I've never seen. See, that's
Okay.
why the Doom. I'm telling you, man. His Instagram. Oh man, it's fire.
No, thank you, thank you. So, Kamala Khan. So, like, I've been on the Kamala Khan kick since probably, what is that? I think it's 2015, 2014. And so when I first got back in, I went to my comic shop, and I'm all like, hey, I want to get back into comic collecting. And I actually have the comic here. I actually brought it for your show as to why, as the book that kind of triggered the reason why I wanted to get back into comic collecting. And then so I'm all like, who should I read? And then he was like one of these a-hole comic collectors that he owns a comic shop, but he just doesn't care anymore.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So he was all like, well, Deadpool and this Miss Marvel is popular now. So I'm all like, okay, well, give me whatever Deadpool you have and whatever Miss Marvel. So it was like Kamala Khan.
When yeah,
It wasn't Carol Danvers. It was Kamala Khan. So I'm like, okay, cool. I'll go read the book. And ever since then, I've been on this Kamala Khan kick. And then, because when you read her first stuff, like her first initial stuff, it feels just like Peter Parker. It feels exactly like Peter Parker.
oh for real. Wow.
You got this person that just gets these superpowers. They're in high school. They're trying to learn their abilities, but at the same time balancing, in her case, would be like a potential boyfriend, but at the same time balancing her religion and her family, but she's a superhero. You know what I mean? And it's like, so when I first read it, I was all like, oh my God, this feels just like Spider-Man, but it's like a new Spider-Man, and it's a female. And I was like, I'm totally digging it. So, as I get into collecting more and more, I start to realize, like, what are her need to have books, right? So
Yeah, yeah,
Captain Marvel 14, Amanda Connor's variant. That's like the number one book to get.
yeah,
And
yeah,
yeah, and then you have Captain Marvel 17 second print. It has Kamala Khan on it, and she's in her outfit.
yeah.
But this one is definitely up there. So this is her first full appearance, but it's a variant, and it's like crazy hard to find. Like,
Yeah, like, dude,
and
I've like never seen it. That's why I said I've never seen.
yeah, and I found this like at a auction store while I was up in Vegas. I just was on vacation. I was in Vegas, and I was going to go to this one comic shop. It's called like Heroes for Sale.
Mhm.
But before that, they had like this auction house thing. And I went in, he had a short box, and he had this, and he had Sam Alexander's variant as well. Like, just $5 a piece. And I'm just like, I,
Jackpot, huh?
dude, like, this book alone in the raw, maybe this is about a $300 book, $300 book.
See,
And it's just like, are you sick and serious right now? Just, I'm like, how do I just like, how do I not buy it? How do I not buy it?
so I was gonna ask you, like, you've seen like Invincible 1, like you've seen like that,
Mm,
Invincible 1 or whatever. This is Mine's is signed
Nice.
by.
What's up
And
with the green? Was it signed before it got
yeah,
signed?
it was like the dude didn't know about he didn't know about like the witness thing, but he had it
No, no,
graded
it's all
anyway.
good. I just was wondering why. Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
so
But it's signed by Kirkman. But like that
nice.
one, right? So that like this one though is like a homage to that, and it's 51,
Oh, I've
and it's
seen
a
this one.
second printing, and like this one's I'm gonna say it hard to find, hard to find, kind of, because like
Yeah, no, no, no. So like, I told people like, so I don't know. I was talking to I think Master X, the real Master X.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
so we were like, well, what does ghost mean versus hard to find? And then
Break that down. Go ahead.
no, but see, here's the thing that we're in a comic book community, so everybody's very passionate and everybody has their own meanings for stuff, right? Like
Yeah.
I just had a beef with a guy on Instagram about the first Jane Foster versus Thor. Like it was like the crazy. All I did was show Thor #1 variant, and then he made this little sassy comment saying like, "Oh, nice second appearance of Jane Foster as Thor," and then I was just like, "Oh,"
Wow.
so I go, "Oh, you mean first full appearance, right?" And then I
Yeah,
thought
yeah.
that'd be the end of it, and he goes, "Well, technically, she she was in Thor. What if #10 that predates that book like 30 years ago." And then I'm like, okay, I'm done. I'm not having this battle with anybody. I'm, I'm not gonna have this beef. And I'm all like, okay, cool, whatever's. Because I think the cameo is Thor God of Thunder 25, and Thor #1, I think is her first full in Marvel continuity. This is how you have to talk now.
Exactly.
This is how you have to talk, right? So but yeah, so anyway, so hard to find for me is like you have a hard time finding it at conventions, you have a hard time finding it at comic shops, but you probably can find it on eBay. a ghost
Okay.
a ghost book to me is you can't even really find it on eBay or any comic shops or any really anywhere. And if it does pop up, it's going to be a rare pop up. So like for me, a ghost book would be uh okay, Vampirella and the Scarlet Legion #1, J. Scott Campbell. Like,
Oh.
and it's the one where Vampirella's here. Let me see if I can use this camera. Vampirella's here. Where is this? And then there's like a monster behind her, and I don't
Yeah,
know who.
yeah.
It's a colored one, and if you look up Vampirella, the Scarlet Legion #1, and then you look on eBay, there's a bunch of them. But the one that I'm talking about, I'm like, yo, I cannot find this book. I've even do you watch Unpressable Defects?
Yeah, I catch some of them.
Yeah, so you know Koi Cakes?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a buddy of mine, and I was talking to him about it, and he's all like, "Yeah, good luck." So if Koi Cakes and Mel V is telling me good luck, then I know like it's going to
Oh
be
man.
super hard to get. Yeah, and it's that one's really hard. Um, I don't know. Batman Cacophony
Well,
#3 is kind of hard too. That Sinkovich variant, that's pretty ghostly as well. You know, but that's
yeah.
what I think hard to find and ghost is. Everybody might have their own idea of what ghost and hard to find is.
Okay, so I'm gonna go with the hard to find on this one because like when I found this, like I was just
Mm.
like awesome. I knew what it was, and then like the dude when I was at at Tulsa Wizard World Con, and what's funny is I seen the same vendor at C2E2, and he remembered me, but when I seen it, he knew what it was, I knew what it was, and he was just like, "Ah, go ahead and get it," and it was like only a couple bucks, so I was like very happy to get it.
Do you know about that Invincible #1 from that convention?
Oh,
Do you know about that book?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
You heard about that book? Okay, I always thought that book was pretty interesting. You heard about the story on that, yeah?
What's the full story? You go break for those.
So let me just see if I can find it. So Invincible #1, I forget which con it was. It was called. Trying to see if I can find it on eBay really quickly. Somebody should have it. I'm having a hard time finding it on eBay, so I guess it's a hard to find book. I thought it'd be easy because I know it's not super hard to find. It's a con book. Damn it. So it looks just like Invincible #1. It looks
Mhm.
exactly like Invincible #1, but it was given out at a con. And okay, this is taking too long. Anyway, so if you look at the Invincible #1, nice book by the way. Awesome
Okay.
book to have. Like awesome book to have. I think they're definitely going to do something with it.
I'm ready for
Um,
they're supposed they got
uh,
Stephen Yeun to do the
mhm.
voice for the rated R cartoon.
Oh, yeah. If they're not going to do something with it, that's it's going to happen anyway. So, long story short, there was a con that came out, and I think it predates the actual Invincible #1. So, if you look at Invincible #1, I think I don't know if it's a WonderCon or some kind of con. So, what happened is the guy. Oh man, I want to get the story straight. The guy who did the con was
Mhm.
going to give the books to like the people entering into the con. So as
Oh,
they come in, they were going to get an Invincible
Invincible.
#1, and it predates I think it predates the original actual Invincible #1. Okay, but it was in a convention center, right? But at the same time that con was going on, there was another con that was going on. Guess what con it was? It was a porn con.
uh,
So guess what? Hardly anybody shows up to the Comic Con. So hardly anyone shows up. So this book is like given out to some people. So the guy, I guess he just passed it out to the vendors, and then the vendors could pass it out. And I think it also, oh, you know what it was too? Not just that, but the same day that the con was going on, they had like a heavy snow and heavy rain. So like a lot of people didn't go to the con. So that book is kind of hard to find. It doesn't go for that much. The Visible #1 first print will still always be the book to have,
yeah.
but it's like one of those interesting books. Like if you find it, like just because of the backstory behind it, like oh you have storm, you have rain, and you have a porn con, adult con going on at the same time in the same building, and they're like just yeah, it's freaking hilarious as hell.
Oh man.
I just was talking to you earlier about the book that got me back, and
Yeah, yeah.
let me show it to you real quick. So this is Mighty Avengers number, what is that? 3. Mighty Avengers #3. This is the one with Eminem and Iron Man on the front porch.
I was just looking for that.
Yeah,
Honestly, I was looking for that.
yeah. So this book, what happened is, I used to be on Facebook. I'm not Facebook anymore. I feel like
Yeah, like
Facebook's a little too negative for me.
yeah, I don't get on Facebook anymore, and like I got hacked. Like I don't even know what I was at work, and like my phone just started chirping off, and my boss was like, "What is wrong with your phone?" And like I got hacked, and I was like, "Oh."
Yeah, no, I'm just
So,
yeah, I'm not into Facebook. I've been off of it for a while, but it was mostly because I just felt like it was too negative. You know, as I get older, I'm like 43 now. Like the last thing I need in my life is just more negativity, right? So you know what I mean? Like I just like to keep things simple. But Eminem had this on his Facebook post saying that he's gonna have a comic coming out, and I'm a huge Eminem fan, like a huge Eminem fan. So I ran out. I called the shop. That was like a mile down from this house. And I'm just like, yo, do you have this variant? And then they're like, yeah. And then I'm all like, can you hold it for me? And they're like, no. and I'm all
what?
like, and I'm all like, why not? I'm gonna be right there in a little bit. And they're like, oh, we don't hold variant. So this I don't know nothing about comic shopping, right? This is when I just got back in. I'm like, what's the big deal? Because I got out like at 80, 88, 89, right? It's 2015. Like
Yeah,
there's a lot that's been going on. I don't even know nothing about variants, nothing. And I'm
yeah,
just like, can you just hold this book? They're like, no. And I'm like, yo, I'm gonna be there in 5 minutes. It's literally 5 minutes. And then so they're like, yeah, okay, we'll just hold it. Man, I screeched down, I grabbed the book, and then yeah, I've held on to it. And so I decided to read it. I forgot what it was about. It's been a while.
It
And
just
then
it looks good though. It looks good.
hey, no, so that was my first book I ever slabbed too. And then so the CGC guy at the con was all like, do you want to press it? And I'm all like, what's a press? He's all like, oh, that's when they're gonna make the book more straight and flat. And I'm all like, I don't know, it looks flat to me. Like, what do you mean? Like, it's like, I mean, I'm such in a better place now as a comic collector, but like
Yeah, yeah.
back in the day, I was like, what do you mean you're gonna press it? You're gonna put an iron? I can iron it for you and come right back. You know? And then
Oh
they're
man.
like, no, we're gonna press it. And I'm like, no, it's well, like, how much is for the press? And they're like 15 or 20 bucks. I'm like, how much is to slab it? And they're like 40 bucks, 30, 40 bucks. I'm like, gonna spend another $20 for this. I'm like, just put it in the plastic case, you know? And then so yeah, but I got a 9.8.
Hey,
I
that was
mean,
good, man.
I got a 9.8, so I'm not gonna complain about that. Yeah.
Heck yeah.
But this is definitely, I guess you would call it my personal grail. Like it has a lot of meaning to me. It means a lot to me. It has multiple meanings. Eminem, getting back into comics, getting into YouTube, finding this awesome community. There's been some bad shit that went on, but there's also been some awesome shit. So when you even it out, I mean,
Oh yeah.
it's been really good. So yeah, it's been a great experience, and that book pretty much steamrolled the whole thing. So as far as like my personal girl, I can't beat this book. I can't. Yeah, I love it. And then the book inside of it is the actual book too. So it's like even better. I could buy this book again, of course, but
Yeah,
it wouldn't be the book that I went and grabbed. You know what I mean?
exactly. Yeah,
Like,
that's
yeah.
that's like I always get. Where? Wait. Let me see. Where did I put it? I think I put it up. But nope. Yeah, I did put it up.
Did Discovery Bay just make 1,000?
Yeah, yeah, he did today. Yes,
Man, that guy deserves it, man.
yes, he does. Yes.
That guy's a fucking workhorse, bro. That guy should be.
Like when we were at C2E2, like
Does he have a job?
yeah,
I mean, like, damn.
he was like
Doesn't he have
they
like 2 kids?
they said like
Right?
he was like doing videos like on the trip and stuff. I was like, dude, like he's still making videos. They were like, yeah, he's making videos. I'm like, what?
Yeah,
So
I hope.
yeah, shout outs to JB Discovery Bay. Let me give a couple shouts to people. Bubs Comics, shout out to him. Mr. Gretzky, Kachoon, my Captain Marvel bro from Down Under, Kachoon. We got Mr. Garrel in the house, and also we have Comic Books NYC, one of my moderators, and then we have Big Lion Cat. What's up, bro? Then we have JP's Budget Collecting, and let me see, I missed a few in here. Oh, Omega Comics, what's up? Pope Cerberus the First, DS Comics, and Sam I Am Comics. And Comic Book Genius, what's up, bro? So yeah, man, like when I got back into collecting, yeah, mine's X Force One. I had it somewhere, but I don't know where I put it at now. But it's X Force One. Rob Liefeld, that's the reason why I got back into collecting, which is weird, but
What year was that?
uh, 2018 last year.
Oh, you just got back.
Yeah, yeah, just got back. Like, yeah, it was like Dallas Fan Expo, and then like it was just like, yeah, it was
Mhm.
like it's been a wild one.
Isn't it weird, like when you first come back, like how you feel as a comic book? Like, I don't even know if you consider yourself a collector
Oh, I
at that
do.
point. No, I mean at that point where I'm
Oh
just like,
no,
like, oh, maybe I'm just a fan. And then later on, you develop like this, like, you know what? I think I'm going to get into actual aspect of collecting, and it's amazing because like I, I think personally, I had more of like this like holy shit vibe, at a con. I remember my first con. I was all like, and it was like a lame one too, because I've seen the videos of your guys' cons in the mainland, and you guys throw a mean ass con. Where in Hawaii we had our very first amazing con. Do you know the story behind that?
oh, what's the deal on that one?
Okay, so Amazing Con comes to Hawaii again around 2015, right?
Mhm.
If you ever see my icon, it's the Thanos like this.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So George Perez drew that for me in 2015 at that con. And so what happened is that we've never had a con before in Hawaii. We've had like what you would call collector show. We would have like Honolulu Comic Con, but it was like a super small one, right? So anyway, so Amazing Con comes up to Stanley and they go, "Can you?" So Mr. So Amazing Con goes up to Stanley and they go, "Will you please do a con for us, another con?" And Stanley tells them, "I'll do it for you if you put it in Hawaii." And that's the only reason why we ever got a big con. So
Really?
yeah, and so that year, Amazing Con was Stanley, Rob Liefeld, George Perez, Kirk Eastman, Capullo, um, And then like there's a couple of shops from Vegas and then a couple of shops. I mean, I was just like, so I don't know if you have a convention center that like there's a hall, there's like a big hall,
Yeah, yeah.
but there's a divider and then there's another hall. Like that year, they actually opened up the divider. So it was like two huge convention rooms. And we've never had one that big again. But like meeting Stan Lee, I mean, just like it was just like fucking nuts, you know. Like, so I remember I was like, "This is crazy." And then you see the cosplayers, and I'm all like, "They're half naked," and then, and I'm like, "How can this be legal?" And then I rented I mean, I went balls to the wall, hotel room, everything. And then as the years go on, I don't feel like I lost the love, but I just got a little bit smarter, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah, it is amazing. So I mean, welcome back. I mean, you must feel like,
yeah.
and you know,
And it was like, cause like the first con we went to was here in Oklahoma City, and I was just like, I'm just going, doing through the motions or whatever, because he's had a free ticket, so I went with him. Then he wanted to do the Dallas one, and then that's where it happened. And then so like, yeah, it's been like, I was like you when I came back. It was like I didn't understand what slabs were and stuff, and I was just like, hey, I just like, this is like, and shouts out to Kachun. This is the first book I ever slabbed myself, or well, sent to get slabbed at CGC. So
first death on cover.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah. There's
yeah,
been a lot of talk about death lately, hasn't there?
yeah, yeah,
Because the what is it? War of Hell, number 10, War of Hell, War to Hell. That's the
yeah.
first appearance of death, and then I guess DC. There's like a new death.
Because GPAP had it. GPAP had it, and the
Yeah.
last, yeah, GPAP showed it in the last one.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So
And
that's the first. I found that like at his guy's like box at his garage sale, and then he must have knew what it was because he said he wanted like 100. I'm like, dude, this thing is rough as fuck. I'm like, I'll give you 30. I mean, I lowballed the fucker, but I mean, it wasn't that rough, but I took it. But yeah, like DC, there's like a new debt too. I like
yeah, yeah,
Captain Atom number 10. I'm like, I never even heard about this dollar book that now is like fucking going.
yeah. It's like, and I went to like my buddy's shop to go. I like was gonna be late to work and everything. I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna go hit this place up, get this book real quick because I know he's probably got it. And then like it was like the day I went and like he was like not at the shop. I was like, oh man, come on. And then like I went on my lunch break and went back and he still wasn't there. And I was like, man, I was like, you know what? I was like, maybe I just wasn't meant to have this book, so I was like, just forget it. And so uh I seen him today. I was talking with him today, and I told him I was like, man, I gotta go to work tomorrow, but I want to come by. Are you gonna be here? And he was like, yeah, I'll be here at like noon. I was like, like noon when? Pacific Standard Time, noon Eastern Time. Like I need to know exactly when, so I don't, so I can get there and get my stuff and get out. But yeah, so tomorrow I have an appointment. Like when you make appointments with your comic, like you're making an appointment with your dealer or something. Like, like yo man,
I'm,
be there,
yo, 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 yo. Hey, you got the
You get
the
the
Batman Adventures 12?
you
You
get the
got the
Detective
Batman
880.
hey, in the back of a Wendy's. Jesus.
Oh man.
Yo, you got that Tech 880, man? That's funny. No, it does become it can get kind of fucked up, dude.
Yeah. So
Comic collect,
yeah.
yo.
So I'm gonna ask you about this book because like this is a book that I hunted down, and this was I bought it in a McDonald's parking lot. Well, I bought it on eBay off eBay, and but so
Oh, is that a 9.8?
yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
Nice. My son's back there, sorry.
Oh, he's all
Uh,
good. My son just jumps in all the time. It's cool. Yeah, but like, yeah, I
uh,
bought this raw and I sent it in.
uh,
Like, and like, my wife was like, when she found out I bought it for $100, and she was like, "You're crazy," and I was like,
you're definitely not crazy.
"So, do you think that's like, all right on that book? Like, what do you consider like on that book? Like, what do you think it stands? Like, if it's gonna hold, or what do you think on that one?"
Well, so unfortunately, right now we're in this place where movies mean more than the actual comics. And unfortunately, that's where we are. So probably one of the best advice I got is if you ever want to speculate on a comic book character, what you want to do is speculate on, not speculate, sorry. What you want to do is, can this person hold their own comic book title? That's what you need to ask yourself. So, like, so let's say somebody, I don't know, Lobo's daughter, Crush? No,
Yeah, yeah, crush, crush.
Crush. So let's take Lobo's daughter, Crush, right? She's a new character, and she has, she's Lobo's daughter, so that's kind of cool. Or like this Rain chick that just came out, right? And then that Marvel Comics Presents #6. I think Wolverine's daughter, Rain,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, so what you need to do is ask yourself, and you don't have to, but if you're one of those guys that like, I wonder what this book value will be. I think a big question to ask yourself is, can this character hold their own title? If you think about every collectible book that's out, almost everybody that's out, they have their own title, right? So Werewolf by Night 32, that's the first appearance of Moon Knight. He has his own book. Spider-Man has his own book. Hulk has their own book. Thor, they all have their own book. So when you want to speculate on a character, can they hold their own book? Well, guess what? Captain Marvel has her own book, right? So there's that long-term investment. And I like to make things, I like to let people know, like, there, you gotta, when you say the word investment, it's very important that you let, if you're a YouTuber such as yourself, I think it's very important. This is just my personal opinion. It's very important that you don't just say, oh, this is a great investment. Like, you let people know, is this a great long-term investment? Is this a great short-term investment? A lot of your books I'm looking in the back right now look like long-term investments. You can hold that book as long as you want, and you can pretty much buy them at any price. Don't complain that it's $20 over eBay. It doesn't matter. It's $20, $30 over eBay. Like, those books are going to go up, you know. So Captain Marvel, hey, what's up, buddy? So Captain Marvel, right now, yeah, you're going to see that book spike. Why? Because she's going to have another movie. She's going to. There's no way around it. She will have another movie. Supposedly, Monica Rambeau will have a bigger part in it, maybe as Photon. Who knows what they're going to use Captain Marvel to introduce? Which characters are they going to use? So, of course, you're going to see a spike. And we've seen this all the time, right? This is what happens. If you want to know when to buy a book, this is what happens. Speculated news comes up, books goes up. Nobody talks about it for a while, so books goes down. Then somebody mentions something that they found this stuff, they're working on it, book goes back up, right? And then nothing comes out, goes back down. And then the first trailer hits, goes back up. And then after the movie, the book goes back down. And then it levels off somewhere, right? So your book is probably going to continue to go up. There's going to be, and the thing about it too is you got these kids like ours and yours, you just showed them, they've watched the Captain Marvel movie. They're going to remember this person in the future. If they decide to be comic collectors, that book is going to be highly sought after because they're going to be like, what's the first Captain Marvel? And they go, well, there's this book called Avenging Spider-Man #9, and it has the first appearance of Carol Danvers as Captain Marvel. You know what I mean? And they're going to be like, how much is that book? And then so it's not going to, it's books fluctuate like stocks fluctuate.
Yeah.
But if you always look at like most stocks, they usually go like this. A lot of them go like this. Now, in between point A to point B, it's there's a lot of hills and valleys. But for the most part, books go up. So that's why I tell people, like, I think a book like that, it's a long-term hold. You don't even have to worry about the movie. If you're trying to sell it, wait for the next trailer. If that's what you're trying to do, if you're trying to sell, make some money, wait for the next trailer. If you want to hold on to it, yeah, go ahead.
Quick shout out to Mr. Gretzky, man. Thanks for the super chat, bro.
Yeah, no, thank you very much.
And that book, like, that's like one I literally was like looking for. I wanted, and like when I got it, watched it, I was crazy. So I'm just holding on to it. But it's like,
ironically, I got that book free. No, I was at this comic. There's a comic shop down here. Remember the one I was telling you? The guy, like, he just doesn't care anymore.
Yeah.
So he had a stack of books on top of his long boxes, just like a stack. So I asked him, like, are these books for sale? And he goes, which one do you want? And then so I had the Avenging Spider-Man #9. And I'm just like, fuck, man, this guy's gonna charge me an arm and a leg. So I'm all like, I want this one. And he goes, "Yeah, go ahead, just have it."
What?
I know. I was all like, "Okay."
Man.
I don't think
See,
he knew. I don't think he knew what he had. So what I decided is I bought some other books just to say thank you. But I was all like, "Mm-hmm."
that's like I got the what was it, the Legend of the Blue Marvel. I got that for like like $3 or $4, I think it was $3 or $4, and I got it back and it's a 9.6. It's
Oh wow,
somewhere here, but I don't.
you have too many books, bro.
Yeah, no, like I'm looking. The other day I lost my Hulk 180.
There you go.
I was like, oh, lost the 180. So and then
The first appearance cameo that everybody's gonna beef about.
oh yeah, yeah,
And
oh
let me
yeah,
ask
they
you.
do,
Go ahead.
they
Yeah.
do though. Like yeah, I found that, but not the one I was looking for. But I
So
found
let me ask you a question. All right. Let's say the Hulk 180 came out this year. There you go. There you go. I always ask people this question: if Hulk 180 came out this year, and
Mhm.
Hulk 181 came out this year, which book do you think would be the highly sought after one? Let's say Wolverine's a brand new character, 2019. Nobody's even heard of this guy, and then Hulk 180 comes out, and
Man,
Hulk
like
181 comes out. What book do you think would be the book?
I think it would be 180 because people be like, "Oh, he's in the back. You can see him. He's saying something. He's this, you know." But it, I'm just saying, like in today's standards, like that's what like it would be like. I think today, like if it came out today and today it was happening, it would be Hulk 180 would be his first
You
appearance.
think so? You think so?
Yeah, because
I
like
always, I always like asking people that
because
question.
to me it's like he's in the back. Like me and my, what's funny is like me and my kids argue about that too. It's like my youngest son, he's like, "Dad, you already know why you even arguing with the why are you trying to go against the grain, Dad?" It's like,
Yeah. So I actually had a buddy, and I was asking, why do you think 181 is worth so much? And he goes, there's too much money in it already. There's just way too much money inside of it. And he goes, people don't want to lose it. So, so whether you think it's 180, 181, it's always going to be 181 just because there's too much money in it.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
It'll always be that. Yeah,
yeah, I mean, think about it. Spider-Man 299 is the same thing with Spider-Man 300.
yeah,
Venom's right in the back of 299, and but yet it's going to be 300. So it's a better cover too.
yep.
It's a better, well, it's a better cover, right?
Yeah, it is. It actually is. It
And 181 is a better cover. I think so.
like yeah, looks just like 301.
Yeah, exactly.
The hardest one to get in like a 9.8. They say like
Oh,
yeah,
yeah. Well, it's all white. Yeah, so it's hard. Plus, it's back in the day when people, you know, not as careful. They were careful, just not as careful as people are now.
so
I have another book. It's
yeah,
really because I thought about this just because my son is actually right here. So my son is a huge Teen Titans Go fan.
yeah.
Uh, yeah, I know. Yeah, I know you're right here. So he's a huge Teen Titans Go fan. So actually, you're not anymore. Well, he was then. He was a Teen Titans Go fan. And so I remember I wanted to know what was the first appearance of Teen Titans, and I bought this busted up copy. Check this out.
Man,
Yeah, look at the tape. Look at this thing. And I remember, so I've had a better copy since, but I remember like I wanted to buy something just to have as a first appearance. So yeah, I bought a better copy of Brave and the Bold, 54 cents. But I remember like, I was thinking like, man, these kids, eventually they're gonna come full circle around with these Teen Titans, just like we did with the GI Joe and the Transformers and
oh
the
yeah,
Thundercats and Voltron. And, we all came full circle.
oh yeah.
So I made sure I bought my son a couple of these Teen Titan books, just so he has them, just in case he's down the line. He's all like asking. I'll be like, "Yo, I got you covered. I got you covered."
Yeah, that's like what is it? Where is it? I got this one for him, and then what is it? Oh yeah, these two. Yeah, here are my Teen Titans. So I got him this one,
Mm. Is that George?
signed by Wolfman, signed by
Wolfman.
Mark Wolfman.
Wolfman. Wolfman.
And I actually took this stuff to C2E2 to get it signed by Perez, but like I didn't get it cracked open or anything. I just left it alone.
Yeah.
And then this one is one I just picked up because Catherine Figures actually, because like she's got me into
Oh yeah, that's
the Michael Turner. Yeah,
yeah. DC Comics present. I'm telling you, DC Comics present 20. Is it 26?
the
It's a very undervalued book, man. You got a bunch of first appearances: Raven, Starfire, Cyborg. I think it's 26.
yeah.
I think that's definitely like a book that is so easy to pick up because these kids are gonna come fool around. Everybody's all like, "Well, the Teen Titans is not good," blah blah blah. On the DC, it doesn't matter. They're gonna later on. It's gonna come full circle.
They remember it. Like they'll
Yeah,
remember.
they're gonna remember it, and if they do become these collectors, that's gonna be definitely something to look after.
So what did you ever see this
Hmm.
variant? Oh, this is like one variant that I always loved. Like oh no, like
I've seen it. It's a cover B, right?
yeah, it's a Tyler Kirkham.
Yeah. No, I've seen it. I've seen it. Yeah, trust me. There's a lot. There's a lot of books out there, man. There's a lot of
I
books.
know you got a lot of crazy ones on Instagram, like your Instagram
Well,
page, man. Like you, King of
I
the
like.
Golden State,
Yeah,
yeah, GPAP, all y'all have some.
yeah. King of the Golden State to me is one of those YouTubers as well. That's just like I don't even know how many subs he has, but he should have way more. And like he's one of those YouTubers you can actually sit down, watch, and then see what he has. And you can, like you don't have to necessarily buy what he buys, but like
Yeah,
it's very good information if you're on the hunt. Yeah, and I think he only has like 500-600 subs. I'm like, this is there's a lot. Him, I think King of the Golden State,
yeah.
the Real Master X, Tuamua, like these guys, like
I
it's
watch all them dudes. Like,
yeah, it's not just about like, oh, let's support the community. Like these are the kind of guys you sit down, you shut up, and you watch the video
yeah,
because you're going to take something in. And educating the community, to me, that's like the biggest thing we can do is definitely educate the community. Not just showing the cool books you bought or even the stealth buy, but like what each book actually means and why we as a collector should look after them, not necessarily buy them. I'm not really into like YouTubers that be like, you got to go out and buy this book right now, and this is a hot book. But like I don't mind them telling me like, hey, if you see this out there, it's cheap, maybe you might want to look into it. I think that is more of a positive vibe than someone's out there telling, buy this book, right now, like female Taskmaster. What is that?
yeah. I've seen
Deadpool Max #5. So the speculation is like the Taskmaster is supposed to be a female, right?
that.
So the first appearance is like Deadpool Max #5, and I just got that book. Like I found that in Vegas. I found it in Vegas, but it's just like I wouldn't really tell everybody to go out and buy it because you know what happens to villains, right?
Yeah. We had a discussion on them bro talk. Me and Jeffrey Comic Con had a discussion because we were. I was mad. I was like, dude, every time they have a villain, they kill him in the movie, and it kills any kind of like thing that happens to the book or anything. And it's like it's murders, like apocalypse.
Oh, Apocalypse was my biggest eye opener.
Yeah.
I was all like, do not invest in villains when it comes to movies unless it's an iconic villain. And you got to use that word very carefully as well.
Yeah.
So iconic villains, you're talking about Joker, Lex Luthor, Green Goblin. You know what I mean? These are iconic villains. But people like Taskmaster, like, yeah, it's a cool villain. I wouldn't necessarily go as far as saying iconic, but
Yeah.
I think it would have been a cool villain. And it's nice if you can find Avengers, whatever it is, for a cool price and nothing crazy. Right now, I wouldn't buy it. Hell no. Like, don't buy it now. The movie's coming out. You know what I mean? But like, it's a good book. But like, yeah, don't go too nuts on these villains. Like, you're gonna end up like, like losing money, especially if you buy it on the high. If you find a stealth buy, or if you buy it cheap, or if you already have it, great. Hey, fuck, if you have it, sell it. Get rid of that thing.
So quick shout outs to Reggie. Reggie's in the chat, and a quick shout outs to Bueller. Yes, I'll always be the X-Men '94 sniper. And thank you for the super chat, Bueller. So yeah, did you ever hear about the story behind the '94? So
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 X-Men '94
yeah,
sniper.
yeah. So I'll show you the book. I'll show you the book. Hold on.
Yeah.
I got it.
Is that when you could snipe on YouTube?
No,
The
this
YouTube
is
auction.
Instagram. This was Instagram.
You sniped a book.
Yeah.
You sniped a
So
94. Too?
so yeah. Well, Alex the Comic Hoarder had put like a 94 X-Men 94 for like $125 on Instagram, and like
What?
yeah, yeah.
He didn't hit me up first.
Dude, I
Mother.
was on Instagram. I'm scrolling through. I'm like, and I see like it's like, and it was sun bleached though, right? So it's like we call it the sketch cover. That's why we just laugh and call it the sketch cover.
All right.
But like, so whenever I'm scrolling through, I was like, I see like this X-Men 94, and it was on my list of stuff I wanted to get,
All right.
and so I hit comments, because it was just like, I hit the comments, and like there was like some guy in the foreign language had said something to Alex, but I don't know what he was talking about. And I
Mhm.
was like, "What's your?" The only thing I said to Alex was, "What's your PayPal?" I was like, "What's your PayPal?"
Damn.
But what I did not know at the time was that Bueller was talking to Alex, talking about, "Can you hold the book for me?" Because I want the book.
Okay.
And so Alex was like, "I don't know. There's people that want it, and this." And then that's when I was hitting him up. I had just hit him up, so I ended up getting this book right here, which was
The sketch variant.
the sketch variant. And I took it to C2E2 and had Claremont sign it. And
Nice.
it's Bueller's book, but I keep it at my house.
No. You're so nice. I'd be like, screw that. That's my book. I would have it like next to me all the time, just like right here. Just to remind Bueller, what's up? That's crazy. No, that's yeah. Man, I wish Alex hooked me up, man. I got that guy in a text. I might text him right now.
Yeah, like I've got like a few books from Alex. Like every once in a while, like I always like his Instagram, yours, like Master X's. Like yeah, y'all like when it comes to like looking for like when I go hunting, like you guys are like basically like the what would you call Obi-Wans, like the insight to get insight on a good hunting, like because like like Master X was talking about the early Justice League Adam Hughes stuff, and I went out and got some of those for like a buck,
Yeah, yeah,
and it
yeah.
was like,
I mean,
it was worth it to me, it was like,
no,
hey.
that guy's a fucking encyclopedia, man. That guy's an dude. You don't know how many times I text him, and I'm just like, "Yo, is this the Supergirl 200 that I'm supposed to be looking for?" And he's all like, "No, it's supposed to be the 45-cent variant, not that one." You know what I mean? So it's just like, no, I'm serious. It's just like, and then, yeah, the guy's like, the guy's a really great hunter. He knows a lot. And honestly, you stay on YouTube long enough, you give it yourself a couple of years, you watch as many videos, like you'll find yourself. I remember I kind of put myself, how do I say this? Okay, let me start over. So I was digging through a short box of X-Men books, and I'm going through it, like, I'm going through it. And then I realized in my head, I don't know what the F to look for. I don't know what I'm looking for. I'm just like looking, and I'm just like, what am I looking for? Right? And I'm just like, man, I got to get better at this. So I remember YouTube was a huge resource, and not just YouTube, like the people out now, but I had to go back, right? So people like Mercenaut, people like Longshanks, people like Weapon X, Omega Shen, Ryu Ken, like these guys were like my go-to guys, right?
I
So
still watch Merconaut. Still.
yeah. And I remember there was this is like, I don't know, this might be a little big-headed of me, but I remember when I started showing books before Mercenaut started showing them, and then I started to realize, oh, I guess I'm on the right path. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, because Mercenaut was the guy, right? So if he showed something, it meant something. So when I started to show books, and then a week later, Mercenaut was showing the same books, I'm like, oh shit, I actually know what I'm talking about. but but I remember like going to the X-Men books, and I didn't know what the hell to look for. So like, yeah, YouTube has been a huge inspiration. It's really helped out. There's a lot of knowledgeable people, whether they're new or old. And there's a lot of people I don't sync with, and there's a lot of people I vibe with. But all in all, like the information is just like they're out there, and now we're fortunate enough to have like key collector
Yeah.
issue. We have stuff like that, so it's a little bit more helpful. That's helped me out during the hunt as well. So
Oh yeah. Like what's my problem is, like, I'll go out and I'll be looking, and like I'll see a cover and I'll be like, why is this important to me? Why do I need to get this?
Yeah, yeah.
It
So
was
it feels, yeah, it feels, it's like when you find the strangest ones, like Star Slayer #5. Is that what it is? When you find stuff like that, and you're like, oh, this is the first Rocketeer. Like when you start knowing that kind of shit, that's when you know, like you feel good. Like it's not a crazy book, but
yeah.
when you see something like that, and then you're like, oh my god, I know what this book is. Like that's why I love hunting, man. I love the hunt. I really love.
That's like on Invincible. Like I know like Tech Jacket, like and then
Yeah,
Master of the Universe and Spawn. I'm not Spawn, but Savage Dragon. I forget which Savage Dragon it is, but I know it's like got the mom on the cover and it's a red cover. But I know all three of those are like the preview of Invincible one. I'm like, okay, those are the three that if you're out ever hunting, those look for those three.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And that's good that you know numbers because I don't know any numbers, man. I know covers. Like there was one was like the first um, cameo of Sonic the Hedgehog. I
Yeah,
don't know what it is, but if you show me the Batman book, like I know it. Like, oh shit, this is the Sonic book. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
yeah, no, YouTube has definitely been a blessing, I guess, in disguise for me as a collector. Yeah,
yeah.
it made me spend a lot of money.
Oh yes, yes. I will say
Yeah,
that. Yes.
yeah, it's
Uh,
spent more than I wanted to.
yeah, like I was like yesterday, like we had a it was my stepson's birthday, and we had a birthday dinner, and my sister in law was there, and she was like referencing on why I collect comics, and they're encased in plastic, and that makes no to have them in plastic. You can't read them, and it's
Uh,
stupid. And I was like, but mind you, right? Her husband collects pops, and I was like, I looked at her, I was like, so does I was like, when Jason collects pops, I was like, does he open them? And she's like, no. I was like, same concept, but these are investments. Well, that's only if somebody's invested or wants to buy those books. I was like, okay, I think so. And then like my brother-in-law stepped in. He was like, I think somebody will buy his books if if he wanted to sell them, somebody would buy them. So
yeah, and I mean honestly, like so, like a lot of the money I made also, not just my job, but has been in stocks. I've been in stocks and bought and stuff on the side, and I made a lot of money through that. But there is something to be said. Exactly what your sister is it your sister or sister-in-law?
sister-in-law, yeah,
Yeah, and then so it's so like somebody, and then when you put it in comics, like it almost kind of hurts, but it's like because comics is such a personal thing.
yeah,
Like we're so passionate and we're so like involved with this. Like that's why you can't. It's kind of hard to have like a podcast, because like there's other people that's not going to agree with you,
oh
and
yeah.
so like when we had the 9.2 crew thing, like we got a lot of beef for a lot of stuff we said because like people didn't agree, but you know what, it's just like everybody's so passionate. Anyway, I don't know where I was going with this, but oh yeah, so well, what she said that actually is true is like your comics aren't worth shit, and then until when?
Somebody wants them.
No, until somebody buys it.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know what I mean?
exactly.
You
Yeah,
can tell me right now, like, hey, this book is worth 500, 2,000, 5,000, whatever it is, right? But until somebody buys it. So that's why when I told people, I'm like, no, if you're going to use the word investment, if you're not going to sell the book, like you're going to give it to, like I'll give my books to some books, not all my books. I'll give some books to my son. And then I'm hoping that he sells it. But the best thing you can do is exactly what you're doing. You're slabbing them. You're putting a grade. So going forward, if like, you hope that your child gets into comics because it's a passion that you have, you hope, but they might not get into it, right? But guess what? So if they want to sell your books, whatever's, but you already protected him by slabbing it, putting a grade on it. And now he's gonna get the most money. He's not gonna have any beef, right?
yeah.
Like let me show this book. There's gonna be a lot of people that's gonna have beef with my son on this book because it's not graded. You know what I mean? And
Oh,
the thing about it is like I'm not a grader because I'm lazy. Like I
wait,
hardly have
wait. Can you show that one more time? Cause
yeah, yeah.
ooh,
You know what pisses me off about this book? Do you know
oh,
there's like a loot crate like
oh
reprint?
yeah, the reprint. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And when I saw it, I was all like, "That's some bullshit." It doesn't even. It looks just like the
Just like it.
book,
Yeah.
and I'm all like, that is some messed up stuff. So I'm like, I better get this book graded because I don't want people thinking I'm holding onto Loot Crate. But yeah, so sorry about the glare.
Oh no, that's beautiful, man. That
Yeah,
is.
so you know what I mean? Like, so if I was to give this to my son, right? And he sells it later on. You can have all of these people going him and haw about the grade and blah 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 and this and that. So yeah, you're doing the right thing. You're slabbing it, and from what I see, you're slabbing it through either CGC or CBCS, which is
Yeah.
the smartest thing you can do. You're getting the best. They're going to end up getting the best price. But yeah, investment wise, you got to sell it, man. That's the only way you're going to make money.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not
That's
going to
what.
tell you. I'm not going to tell you when to sell it. I'm not going to tell
Oh
you to
no,
sell it. But you're doing the smartest thing. You're doing definitely the smartest thing, and I got better at that too. I remember there was a time I'm like, yo, you can just slab it through PGX if it's just your personal stuff, and I'm just like, I should have never told people that. I should have never told people that. There was this one time I was like, yo, if you want to just slab it, just to have it in case, go ahead, go to PGX. Now I'm like, fuck, I should have. Oh, I feel so bad. Because like I'm really hurting their collection. I'm hurting their collection. I'm not helping their collection at all.
Oh man.
Yeah.
So he's like, I had to take my words back on that.
Yeah. Sorry, you learn a lot.
So,
You learn a lot.
so this is a book that I bought, and like I show it all the time. I don't care. I love this book, and I bought it for like personal reasons, but like as like I wanted to pass it down to my son as well. But like it's kind of a so.
Nah, you're gonna put that in your grave with you. Don't give that to him.
But like
Nice.
this is the best part though. Is like I love
Yeah.
the back because it's got the sketch on the back of the
Oh,
crow.
somebody did a sketch.
Yeah,
No. Oh, yeah. I
the
see it. Nice. Is that your boy, the crow?
yeah. Well, yeah, I like the crow, and then like Bruce Lee. I like Bruce Lee too. But like the
Yeah.
crow, that was like one of my favorite movies. Like back,
Really?
like like when it first came out, I loved
Yeah.
that movie. And
Yeah.
then like the character, I was always intrigued by it. So I got to get a Caliber. I forget what issue it is, but I got to get.
Yeah.
What's funny is like White Whale Comics has the first appearance of the Crow, and he he wants this book, and I want the I want the first appearance of the Crow. So we're like both at like we're looking at each other like, all right, you get yours and I'll get mine. So
You rather have yours than the caliber that he has?
uh. Well, he wants that. He wants that too. He wants the Crow one too, because like he's a
Okay.
Crow fan too.
Okay.
So it's like,
I was
yeah.
about to say, I'm all like, yo, do that trade, yo. I'm all like, you want the one instead of the caliber? I'll take the
Yeah.
caliber right now. All right.
So you got anything coming up?
Yeah, so I got a haul coming up in about a week. I haven't done a haul in about 3 months. It's going to focus a little bit on my vacation that I went to California and Vegas. I found some like
Now,
fucking.
didn't you go to Torpedo Comics? I thought I seen
I
that on
did. I did go to Torpedo Comics. That was fun. I actually found the Thor #1 variant on that. Did you see the one with Jane Foster on the white? Is that
Yeah,
that
yeah.
white? Yeah, I found that there. $10, bro. No, you know why? You know why, right?
Why? What?
The main guy was at SDCC. Everybody was at SDCC. So the guys that were there were just kind of like, I don't know, maybe one was a manager. And then they were just like, there was a variant box towards their window. And I was all like, there was like $5, $10, 15. And then they had some stuff on the side that wasn't priced. And I'm like, yo, how much are the ones that's not priced? They're like, whatever the price is on the comic, that's the price. And I'm all like, so if it's $3.99, it's $3.99, right? So I'm like, so I found a couple of stuff in there, nothing crazy, but within the variant box, I found that Thor #1, and that news dropped at SDCC, and I'm just like, I better grab this now before they before they catch on.
Before they send the message back, like,
Yeah,
like,
no. So I grabbed that. I found it I found it, and I found it for $10. I think it's about $100 variant right now because of this whole, Jane versus going to be Thor, which is kind of funny that everybody's acting this way because I swear that news came out like almost a year ago.
yeah.
You know what I mean? But everybody's like, it's kind of funny. It's just like,
They're
I know
like,
people don't like speculators, but sometimes it's okay to listen to these people because you know, like I feel like people forget stuff real quick. Like what happened to the first Hit Monkey? Did everybody forget about that already?
Yeah,
Or,
yeah,
or Black Adam? Did everybody forget about Black Adam?
yeah,
Shazam 28? Did people forget about Black and Silver? You know, Black Cat with Silver Sable? Did people forget about like I don't know, just things come and then like it's funny and then I was it's just funny how fast people forget. Like you don't see
yeah.
anybody showing a what is that? The Thanos 13 Albuquerque?
Nope,
Remember
not anymore. No.
right? Like, what happened to that? Like,
Yeah,
what
they used to
happened?
be the like they used to be hard to get. Like, and it's still like, is it still up
Mhm.
there? Because like,
Yeah.
man,
Well, on eBay, if you look on eBay, you can't find a raw copy anywhere. But what I'm saying is, like, if people, not everybody, you know, I mean, not everybody, but it seems to be a very common theme where it's like, we're gonna run over here. Oh shit, what's going on? Let's go. Over here. Like, like, oh, you know what I mean? Like, and I'm like, yo, if you listen, like you're gonna find out about this stuff a long time ago, you know, like and I guarantee you if Nova pops up in anything, like you're gonna start seeing all these books.
oh
And then
yeah,
I'm like, yo, that speculation came out a long
like
time ago.
look. This is why I was like, when if Nova, if it's like if it's Richard Rider or whatever, like people will be grabbing this too. They'll be like, get New Warriors 1, 2, get New Warriors. You gotta get that too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah. Yeah.
know,
Yeah. Yeah. No doubt. No
like
doubt.
there'll be a spike in that book. There'll be a spike in Nova #1. There'll be a spike in Sam Alexander books.
Mm-hmm.
It's-
Yeah, you're gonna see people like running and then they're running back over here, and it's funny because there's already stuff that's out. You know, if you just pay attention, there's already
yeah,
like what is the one that I feel like nobody's talked about in a while? Spider-Man #1 annual, Sinister Six,
yeah.
right? It's been a while because you know people were saying that that's what this whole Spider-Man is building up to. It's building up to the Sinister Six. They're supposed to introduce Craven, which is a book I just got too. I actually bought it off a guy.
Oh man, I still want that book. Like I was just GPAP had it, and I was like, dude, I'm still trying to get that book. And GPAP's like, I got it, and I was like, oh man, and, like that was
Oh,
a
maybe.
character I've been hollering about him. Yeah, man, that's
I just got this book. Yeah, I just
that's
got
a
this book.
beauty right there. That's like one of the books I want to get so bad because he's like one of my like Craven's Last Hunt is like one of my favorite like Spider-Man storylines.
Yeah, honestly, I haven't heard it, but I've heard nothing but great things about that story. Like nothing but great things.
Yeah.
So I'm just wondering why I haven't heard it. I've been so busy. But yeah, nothing but great things about that one. But yeah, it's supposed to lead up to the Sinister Six. And I'm just like, if everybody's just gonna wait, then fuck, I'll just buy the books now while they're cheap. You know what I mean? Screw it.
Exactly.
I'm like, you know what? I'll just buy the damn thing and then sell it later when everybody wants it. You know what I mean?
Hey, what's up, Ray Jr.? Exactly. Like because I was like the Craven thing. I've been talking about like him, like because he's due for a movie. So it's like and then like I showed GPAP the first appearance of Beetle, which is was it Strange Tales? I think Strange Tales 123. But and it's not even a Spider-Man book, so it's like it's weird. But and
Yeah,
that's
no, yeah,
and
yeah, yeah. It's, I mean, if you pay attention to some of the stuff that's out there, usually what happens is that a speculation comes out and then nothing for long periods of time. And that's when you gotta like try to get those books. So right now, like a lot of Black Widow hype is going on, and it's gonna die off. It's gonna die off really quick. There's something else that's gonna pop up, and then that's the best time to kind of go out and search from.
all right.
You know, yeah,
It's like what's it Iron Fist and
yeah, yeah.
Luke Cage is like get that right now because it's like they're
Yeah.
cooled off. Even
Hmm.
like
Hmm.
I wouldn't say the Punisher because that book's always gonna be like pricey. That book's-
The Punisher book is one of those I think you can buy it at any time. I mean, as long as it's not ridiculous, like you can even overpay for it too. Honestly, as long as it's not ridiculously overpaying for it, I feel like the Punisher you can buy at any time. It's going to be a little hard because, like, you know, there's really nothing on them except for the one that I was on Netflix. But you know, um, there's always like older stuff that came up that, you know, I think the best thing is whatever nobody's talking about, right? So
yeah,
like Tomb of Dracula, like that's always been a sought after character, right? Blade.
yeah,
There's always been a sought after character. But if you bought it last year, you could have got it a lot cheaper when no one was talking about it, right?
Yeah.
Now there's all this hype and stuff. So there's still, Dead Man, no one's talking about him. Swamp Thing for a while, no one, and then they made the thing. There's a lot of really small superheroes that nobody
Oh,
really
even
talks about.
remember Booster Gold. Booster
Yeah,
Gold.
Booster Goes a perfect one. There's a perfect example. That like that's something you can pick up, and it's cheap right now. And if nothing happens, no big deal. You didn't pay too much. If something happens, you got a little bit of gold nugget in your collection. You know
Exactly.
what I mean? Yeah. So yeah. Um. Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say we're gonna shut it down.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, let's give away that comic. How much
Oh
people we
yeah,
got?
yeah, yeah, yeah. We wanted to, yeah.
You
So
know what? Only 12 people is here. Good. Only 12 people. One out of 12. The guys that stay, 15 people. The guys that stayed, we're gonna give away a comic,
yeah,
and just to say thank you. So it's actually, let's see. Let's do this slowly, like taking off panties.
yeah, yes.
Ooh,
Ooh, 9-8.
ooh,
We're giving this away.
ooh, ooh, ooh. You see
Adam.
that?
Ooh, oh, I
Ooh,
see it.
ooh.
A8. Oh,
Oh. Do you see the trade dress? Do you see
yeah.
the trade dress? No, you don't. You know what? It's a virgin.
Oh. Adam
Ooh.
Hughes 9.8 signed. He's the Doom is giving this away, y'all. Y'all are missing out. If y'all have let like woof, y'all have
Yeah, so I'm gonna give this away. So yeah, let's do a question.
uh,
Let's do a question. I think Tony's got a very difficult question.
okay. I need
But do it.
for
Do it.
I need for look. Oh, they're
Oh
coming back in now. Look, I see 16 now.
wait, hold on. Hold on, real quick, Tony.
Uh,
If you're watching live, we're gonna give you guys 5 seconds to refresh. That
yeah,
way,
refresh.
yeah. So we're gonna give everybody a chance to refresh right now, and we'll let you know when to go, and then Tony will give the question.
Yeah,
Um, because sometimes it just,
there's
I,
like a lag.
I
Yeah,
want to give as much people as fair chance as possible, or people forget that there's a lag. Um, okay, I think that should be good enough, right? I think everybody should be ready to go. Okay, cool.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So the question is for this 9.8 Adam Hughes sign Virgin variant. We're we are gonna need at least to know five first names. It can be first names only. 5 names of 5 Robins.
5 different Robins. Give us the first name of 5 different Robins. Go. You got the answer, right? Because I don't know the answer. I know, like, I might know 4. Who do you think is going to be? Who in the chat do you think? You know people. Who do you?
Oh, who that's probably on it right now.
Who that's probably on it right now?
Yes,
Who's
yeah,
ever the
okay,
first?
Ray Jr.'s got 1 in there so far. Oh, we got Damien. Oh, Ray Jr.'s going for it. Ray Jr.'s going for it. He's got 2.
Just do it on one comment. Just do
Yeah,
it
you
on
can do
one
it on
comment.
one comment if you want. Dick.
And we just need the first name. Just do the
Oh,
first name.
Mr. Gretzky. He did Dick, Todd, Cassandra, Damien, and Jason. Did Mr. Gretzky got it? Mr.
Oh
Gretzky.
shit.
Mr. Gretzky got it. Yeah.
Where's Gretzky at? How come I
Let's
don't see his
see.
comment?
Yeah, let's see. Cassandra. Let me see. Was Cassandra? Wait. Was Cassandra? Was it
Am I missing something?
Cassandra? Wait, Dick. I see Dick, Todd, Cassandra, Damien, and Jason.
Oh, I might have been missing something.
Let's see. Hold on.
I don't know. This is your show. You figure it out. You just.
Yeah. Yeah. Hold on. We're gonna confirm this Cassandra. We got to confirm Cassandra. We have to
Get out of there.
confirm
What are you
this.
doing, man?
Jason Todd. Okay. Tim. Okay. There's a Stephanie. Okay.
Okay.
Damien.
To what?
But I don't see. Wait, I don't
Okay.
see a Cassandra. Hold on. Wait.
You figured it out?
Yeah. So wait a minute. So that one. So it might be Wolf Blitz because I don't know. I don't see a Cassandra though. Like
But it doesn't necessarily have to be Cassandra, right? You just want 5 of them. Well,
Yeah, 5, but like I don't see it like. Hold
I
on,
don't want to
let's
get
see.
in trouble, so you guys are gonna.
Yeah.
Are you flossing?
Can we get a verification on is there a consent? Let
You
me
guys
see.
want to see the best flossing in town? Go, get up. Let me see. Let the world see this flossing magic. Come on, do it. Oh, look at that. Who won?
Yeah, it's gonna be Wolf Blitz, I believe, because I don't see a Cassandra. Yeah,
Is it between a couple of people?
no, it's because like it was Wolf Blitz at first, but he doesn't like he said Cassandra because I don't think there's a Cassandra. And then it's Wolf Blitz because he has Dick, Jason, Tim, Stephanie, and Damien. Those are all the 5. So Wolf Blitz wins.
They got him first.
Yeah, yeah, Wolf
Because
Blitz.
who I see who that with Tim, Jason, Damien, one,
Yeah,
two,
who
three.
that would be next? Yeah,
Okay. Okay. Well, you just let me know. I'm on
but Wolf
Instagram.
Blitz, Wolf
Okay. Well,
Blitz.
okay.
So
Cool. Well, I'm on Instagram, the Doom143. DM me your address, and I will send you a 9/8. I will send you this book, actually. I'm gonna send you this book for free. Cool. Cool. Anything else?
that seems to be it. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was the question. So Wolf Blitz came through on that one, so he gets a 9.8. Yeah, Mr. Gretzky, I'm not. I'm not. That you almost had it, bro. I thought you had it. I'm sorry, my bad, bro. I got your hopes up. My bad. I'll make it up to you, bro. Don't worry. I'll make it up to you, Gretzky. So join me next Thursday on another episode of What's Your Grails. My guest will be Bub's Comics, and he'll be on here with us, and we'll have a good time in the conversation. And Doom, man, like, dude, I've enjoyed this conversation with you. Like, I, it's been a blast, man. Like, I can't really, like, I can't
Yeah. No.
complain.
No. Thanks, man. Yeah. No, I had fun. It's always fun being on one of these. So thank you. Sometimes I talk too much, but I
Oh,
appreciate
you're all right, dude. You're all right.
it.
Well, you guys have a good one. This has been What's Your Grails, and this is the Doom 143.
Shoots, marvelous.